Tonight on the News Hour, Council Chairman, 5 others killed as Governor Adeleke shuts Council. Oyo NLC raises alarm over mass sack of workers in Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company. Farmers in Kaduna lament as fall in prices of tomatoes others impact negatively on investments in farming. On the foreign scene, detained Uganda opposition politician on hunger strike taken to hospital, lawmaker says. Hello and welcome to the News Hour tonight on Trust TV. I am Aisha Salihu. Thank you for joining us. We begin with political matters from Osun, southwest Nigeria. The crisis over the leadership of local government councils in Osun State assumed a dangerous dimension on Monday, with 6 people reportedly killed. A chieftain of the All Progressives Congress and chairman of Irewole local government area of Osun State, Remi Abbas, was among those killed during the crisis. Hamido Yegbade files in this report.
The crisis was as a result of the attempt by the local government chairmen and councillors elected during the administration of former Governor Adegboyega Oyetola to return to the councils after the judgment of the Appeal Court Akure on 10th February 2025, which overturned the judgment of the Federal High Court Osogbo that sacked them from the office earlier. The state governor, Ademola Adeleke, said the chairmen and councillors could not return to duty due to the subsisting judgment of the Federal High Court Osogbo on a suit filed by the Action People's Party, which also sacked the chairmen and councillors. The State Commissioner for Information, Kolapo Adimi, confirmed the death of the sacked chairman of Irewole local government area of Osun State, Remi Abbas, and 5 members of the People's Democratic Party during the crisis.
So we are just here, we are law-abiding people. We are just here to enforce what the law says. And we have come to stay. And we are just enjoying the Nuge people that they should not play with their job. We just give them 24 hours, maximum 48 hours. We will bring the registered out for people that are looking for job.
Unfortunately, one of the dog, Shogo Agbola, aka Ado, shot directly to our boys, our party members, and which led to their death. I think we lost 2 of them. Banik was there also while they were shooting, and he was the one directing the operation.
From the report we are receiving from the security, so far about 6 people died. 5 of them, according to the information so far, they are PDP stalwarts, and many people were injured, majorly from the PDP side, by the hooligans that invaded the various local governments.
Efforts to reach the State Police Public Relations Officer, Yemisi Opalola, were not successful. Amid Oyegbade, Trust TV News, Osogbo.
Meanwhile, the national leadership of the People's Democratic Party has declared that the sacked Osun State local government chairman and councillors cannot force their way back into office because a substantive judgment of the appeal court has since sealed their fate. The National Publicity Secretary of the PDP, Debo Ologunagba, who said this in a statement in Abuja on Monday, cautioned the affected local government political leaders to perish the thought of forcing themselves back into office, as such will amount to a futile venture with dire consequences. The PDP asserted that the fate of the ousted local government chairman and councillors was sealed by the judgment of the Court of Appeal, which nullified the unconstitutional attempt by the then governor Boyega Oyetola to illegally plant them as local government officers in the guise of an election, while accusing the APC of being the architect of its misfortune. The PDP said APC should have known that disregarding and refusing to comply with the provisions of the Constitution and the Osun State local government election laws with respect to the requirement on notices, processes and procedures of conducting local government elections is destined to be fatal and irreparable. The PDP called on the people of Osun State to remain calm, law-abiding and get ready for the local government election as they continue to support Governor Ademola Adeleke in his delivery of life-enhancing projects and programs in the state. Also, the Osun State caucus in the 10th House of Representatives has condemned the illegal attempt by the sacked local government council officials to reclaim offices despite a standing court of appeal ruling in Akure against their reinstatement. Speaking on behalf of the caucus in Abuja and backed by 11 other members, Representative Bamidele Salam expressed deep concern over the breakdown of law and order in Osun State, reaffirming their commitment to upholding democratic principles and the rule of law. The members, while briefing journalists at the National Assembly, maintained that the state governor Ademola Adeleke had earlier appealed to President Bola Tinubu to wade into the matter by preventing the undue influence of security agencies, while accusing the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Boyega Oyetola, and the APC leaders for orchestrating these untoward events with the support of security agencies. The caucus described the situation as an invitation to anarchy, adding that multiple violent attacks have been meted out against innocent citizens of the state by the APC thugs and security agents. They, however, appealed to President Bola Tinubu to direct the Inspector General of Police to restore peace and order in the state and, by extension, instruct the National Security Advisor and Attorney General of the Federation to advise the ruling party against its actions.
We use this medium to condemn the brazen effrontery of the sacked local government council officials to return to office, notwithstanding the yet to be set aside decision in spite of a subsisting judgment of the Court of Appeal, which has not been appealed by the All Progressive Congress or these dramatic personnel themselves. This former local government chairman decided to invade local government secretariats across the 30 local governments of Osun State today. The people of Osun State woke up to the criminal takeover of the local government secretariat across the state by these sacked officials who forcefully broke into the premises of the councils in several local governments, aided by thugs and hooligans who have been shooting sporadically, wreaking havoc on the people of the state, thereby constituting a very great nuisance and danger to the peaceful people of Osun State. Sadly, this is being perpetrated with the support of some security personnel, relying on a non-existent judgment of the Court of Appeal.
And now joining us via phone, our reporter in Osun State, Hamid Oyegbade, to give us an update. Thank you so much, Hamid, for joining us on the news hour tonight.
Yeah, good evening. Thank you.
You're most welcome. And now, Osun State is in the news now. I mean, we're talking about politics, we're talking about APC, PDP, and the council chairman, and all of the saga that is ongoing. I'd like for you to bring us up to speed on what you have learned recently and how this is affecting the state in general.
Okay, thank you, Aisha. The issue is around the local government election conducted by the former governor of the state when he was in charge at the state. So that was October 16, 2022. That was when the local government election was conducted. And when the new governor came in, after the July 2022 governorship election, that is Governor Ademola Adeleke, the People's Democratic Party ran to the Federal High Court in Osogbo, and the Federal High Court nullified the local government election conducted by former Governor Adegboyega Oyetola. The APC and the sacked local government chairmen and councillors then proceeded to the Court of Appeal to challenge the decision of the Federal High Court, Osogbo. So recently, this February 10, the Appeal Court, Akure, overturned the decision of the Federal High Court, which sacked the local government chairmen and councillors. Therefore, the local government chairmen and councillors feel that they need to come back. They consider that as a reinstatement for them, that with the judgment of the appeal courts, they are resuming back to their offices as chairmen and councillors of local government and the state. But the state government, particularly the governor himself, said there is another case where the Federal High Court also gave a judgment that nullified the same election, meaning that there were two different judgments nullifying that election. So the state government and the governor are claiming that even if the first case by PDP was dismissed or upturned by the Federal High Court, by the appeal court, that the second case by APP is still subsisting. It was on the basis of that that the state government refused to allow the local government chairmen and councillors to return after the appeal court judgment. But the state APC, All Progressive Congress, and the chairmen and councillors are saying that on the basis of the judgment of the appeal court, February 10, that they are going back to the local government councils. So it was today that they resumed back. And the PDP members said they would not allow them to enter the local government councils. So that was the basis of that was the genesis of the crisis today. And 6 people were killed. Several people sustained degrees of injury. Out of the 6 people killed, according to the State Commissioner for Information, Olapo Alimi, 5 of them are members of the People's Democratic Party, while only one is a member of the APC,
right,
and a chairman of the Irewode local government.
Now, Hamid, my question to you now is the chairman of Irewole local government has been killed, and we have 5 other PDP stalwarts that were also killed, just like you have rightly said. I'd like for you to, clarify for us. This is clearly a case of breakdown of law and order. What then is the way forward? I mean, the local government council chairman has just been killed, and how is this affecting the members of that particular local government?
There is apprehension in the state. People are apprehensive and there is panic everywhere. Residents are always worried because there are shooting by thugs and hoodlums. And there is fear in the state as we speak.
Of course.
So the state governor has announced that the local government councils be shut down and that the NLC, Nigeria Labour Congress, and NOGE had also announced that the local government workers should stay away from local government secretariats for now. So there is fear everywhere, but basically no one is expected to be at the local government secretariat from tomorrow. Given the instruction or directive of the governor shutting down all the local government councils across the state.
Okay.
I hope the security operators. So okay, I shall go on.
All right then. So you have just stated that the local council has been shut down just as instructed by the governor. I'd like to hear from you. How then does this affect activities? We all know that there should be activities at the local government council, and if it's been shut down, how then does it affect? You know, we have civil servants who are going to work, who are expected to go to work. How then does it affect the activities of the local government council? Just briefly before we go.
Like I said, the NOGE, that's Nigerian Union of Local Government Employee, and NLC, Nigeria Labour Congress, in separate statements, directed local government workers to stay away from the local government secretariats across the state. So basically, no civil servant or local government employee is expected to even be at the premises of the local government secretariat. More so, like I said, the state government has also announced that all local government secretariats are shut down.
Okay.
So with that, workers are not expected to be there. But the people who reside, I mean the residents around local government secretariats, most of them ran away from their homes, and I hope they will have returned this evening, but there is fear around the premises and areas where the local government secretariats are located.
Okay, thank you so much, Hamido Egbade. You have clearly brought us up to speed on the latest development in that particular development in Osun State. We do hope to reconnect with you as soon as more information comes on board. Thank you so much for your insights and input on the News Hour tonight, Hamid. Now, still in the Southwest and more on politics, the Lagos State House of Assembly has suspended plenary indefinitely following the invasion of the Assembly by operatives of the State Security Services on Monday. Tensions escalated in the Assembly on Monday as security personnel, reportedly from the SSS, entered the Assembly premises and locked the Deputy Speaker's office before the start of the plenary session. This action led to a standoff between lawmakers and security officers, with the lawmakers eventually regaining access to the Assembly. During the plenary session, the lawmakers addressed the security breach and passed a vote of confidence in the Speaker, Mojisola Miranda. They also resolved to investigate the incident and report their findings to President Bola Tinubu and the SSS Director General Oluwatosin Ajayi.
This is a democracy. Confidently.
Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has condemned the invasion of the Lagos State House of Assembly by some security operatives on Monday, describing the incident as utterly reprehensible in a statement on his X handle. Atiku said it must be subjected to a full and thorough investigation. According to him, it is bewildering that the invading operatives reportedly had a mandate to enforce a leadership change in the House. The People's Democratic Party's presidential candidate in the 2023 election described the invitation of security operatives in a parliament's conflict resolution as disgraceful. Away from that, a federal high court in Port Harcourt has adjourned proceedings to April 30, 2025 for the adoption of processes in a case filed by Rivers State House of Assembly Speaker Victor Okojumbo and two others. The applicants want to declare the seats of embattled Speaker Martin Ameole and 26 others vacant following their defection from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress. During the hearing, lead counsel for the applicants, Yusuf Ali, senior advocate of Nigeria, informed the court that the defense team led by Ferdinand Obi, senior advocate of Nigeria, had filed new counter affidavits via WhatsApp on February 15, adding that his team filed a response on February 17. Obi requested an adjournment to allow time to review the extensive filings, a request granted by Justice Emmanuel Obile. The judge stated that the court would await the Supreme Court's decision on related cases involving the Rivers State government before proceeding. Counsel for the Rivers State government, Dagogo Iboroma, senior advocate of Nigeria, confirmed the adjournment and noted the case concerns the December 11, 2023 defection of 27 lawmakers.
The defection of the 27 members of the Legislative Assembly on the 11th day of December 2023. The court has adjourned the proceedings further to the 30th of April 2025. The judge is of the view that certain matters are pending in the Supreme Court. He want the party to address him on the impact of the case in the Supreme Court on this matter.
Now, Justice Inyang Eko of the Federal High Court in Abuja has granted an application by a former Minister of Petroleum, Diezani Alison Madueke, to amend her suit challenging the order obtained by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission for final forfeiture of her seized assets. Justice Eko granted the request after the motion was moved by Diezani's lawyer, Godwin Eyinibo, with the EFCC's counsel, Divine Oguru, not opposing it. At the day's proceeding, Eyinibo informed the court that they had already filed the motion for amendment of their originating process, adding that the defendant had been duly served. Oguru did not raise any objection to the ex-minister's plea to amend her suit, and as such, Justice Eko granted it as prayed. The judge gave Diezani 5 days to file and serve the amended processes and granted EFCC 14 days from the date of service to respond. We'll double back now to Abdulateef Aliyu, who is joining us from Lagos to give us an update on the issues at the Lagos State House of Assembly. Thank you so much, Abdulateef, for joining us on the News Hour tonight. Abdulateef, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so
good evening. Thank you.
Good evening. You're welcome. We're just hearing now about the tension happening at the Lagos State House of Assembly. I'd like for you to kindly bring us up to speed on what you have learned recently.
Well, thank you very much. The issue that happened at the Lagos State House of Assembly today is still a fallout of the impeachment of the Speaker of the House on January 13th. That's Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, who was impeached on January 13, 2025, while he was away in the U.S. You will recall that when he arrived from the U.S., he rejected the impeachment on the ground that the members who impeached him did not follow the due process of the law. And there have been several attempts, several meetings for him to also return to the House, which the lawmakers are actually resisting, and so on. And you also recall that about 2 weeks ago or so, the members of the Governors Advisory Council in Lagos State, that's the apex APC leaders in the state. Those are the leaders who actually who are the political decision-making body in the state. They also had meeting with members of the House of Assembly, and there were speculations that the impeached speaker was actually going to be reinstated and so. But what we had again was that the lawmakers were actually against the return of the impeached speaker, and they are standing solidly behind the newly elected Speaker of the House. That's Right Honorable Mojisola Miranda. While we all thought that the crisis is actually over, at the floor of the House on Monday, we saw the security agencies, especially the operatives of the DSS, Department of State Services, storming the House of Assembly and locking the office of the Speaker and so on, which actually created some crisis at the House of Assembly and so on.
Okay, and now earlier we did report that the former vice president of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar, reacted to this particular incident where he did fault the invasion of the Lagos State House of Assembly by SSS. And what can you say about Atiku's reaction to this?
Well, I think we are still trying to get reactions from the security operatives, the DSS, and the police especially. Though we have spoken with the Lagos State Police spokesman who said that he's not aware of the invasion. We haven't heard yet from the DSS, and why we really need to also hear from the DSS was because of the letter that has been circulated that it was actually the House of Assembly acting clerk that actually invited the DSS and other security operatives to increase security at the House of Assembly over alleged plan by the impeached speaker to take over the House and so on. Well, we had most of the lawmakers actually condemning the invasion. They are describing it as a rape on the democracy and so on. And that is why the matter actually becomes so complicated, because we had the lawmakers, all of them are condemning the invasion, while on the other hand, the DSS is claiming that it was actually the House that invited it and so on. So the House has actually adjourned indefinitely, which actually indicates that the matter is far from over. The matter of impeachment of the former Speaker, right, Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, the matter is yet to be over, and this is actually disrupting the activities of the House. Quite a number of the businesses of the House cannot actually be carried out because of this ongoing tension and so on. So we are actually monitoring the situation to see how the matter will actually play out. The impeached speaker has actually gone to court to challenge his impeachment. And while this is going on, we were actually witnessing what happened in the House of Assembly, which a lot of people have actually condemned, including the lawmaker who described it as invasion. We all know that the House of Assembly is an important arm, an independent arm of government. For the security operatives to have invaded the House, it really calls to question the independence of the House and so on, which is why a lot of people are actually condemning it and so on. But we are actually waiting to see how the matter will play out in the days to come.
Okay, thank you so much, Abdulateef Aliyu, for bringing us up to speed on the latest development at the Lagos State House of Assembly, as we do wait to hear from security operatives regarding the alleged invasion, as I would like to put it. Thank you so much for joining us on the News Hour tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Now, following the unjust sack of 3,000 casual staff of the Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company, the Nigeria Labour Congress has called on the Oyo State government to intervene before it degenerates into a security threat in the state. The Oyo State chapter chairman of the NLC, Kayode Martin, made the call while addressing the sacked staff of IBEDC on Monday. Martin issued a 24-hour ultimatum to Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company to reinstate the sacked staff or face a shutdown of the company. Martin lamented the treatment of casual staff of IBEDC who are being exploited by outsourcing agents who deduct their salaries without accountability. He appealed to the security agencies in the state to come to the aid of the sacked staff noting that it is unlawful for an employee to pay less than minimum wage to their employed staff in the state.
As of today, it is a crime. The law states if you employ more than 25, you should not pay anybody below 70,000. So we have a company employing more than 3,000, paying them 50,000 naira today. I think the commissioner of police know what to do. The governor knows what to do. There is somebody sabotaging the effort. In Nigeria today, we have 3,000 employees under you, and you are paying them 50,000 naira. And there is an allegation that IBDC pays more than that, minimum of 120,000 naira. That the man used to collide with some people, some HR from IBDC as well, manipulating the whole thing.
To other stories, the Association of Resident Doctors, University College Hospital, Ibadan chapter, says it will embark on an indefinite strike if power is not restored to the residential areas of the hospital. This is contained in a communique from its emergency meeting held on February 14 and made available to newsmen on Monday in Ibadan. The Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company reconnected the UCH on February 12 after more than 100 days of power outage, according to the communique signed by the chapter's president, Boyega Ajibola, and General Secretary Uthman Adedeji. The residential areas were not reconnected. The DOE noted that this was in spite of the residential areas having prepaid meters with units amounting to hundreds of thousands of naira. You're watching the News Hour tonight on Trust TV. Coming up shortly. Farmers in Kaduna lament as fall in prices of tomatoes others impact negatively on investments in farming. We'll bring you details of the story and more after the break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It's nice to have you join us again. You're still watching the News Hour tonight on Trust TV. Here is a recap of some of our top stories. We told you that council chairman, 5 others killed as Governor Adeleke shuts council. You also heard Oyo NLC raises alarm over mass sack of workers in Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company. And to more stories. Despite the high cost of farm inputs, economic challenges and significant investments made by farmers, tomato and vegetable prices have plummeted in Kaduna State. In Kaduna State markets, farmers attribute this situation to an oversupply of produce coupled with the current economic hardship impacting consumers. Trustee Bello Musa reports from Kudun local government area of Kaduna State, where farmers are grappling with the devastating effects of these price drops and seeking solutions to mitigate their losses.
Kudan local government is a leading producer of tomatoes and vegetables in Nigeria. Farming is a year-round activity in this area, but the January to March harvest consistently leads to an oversupply of produce in the market. This is the well-known Hunkuyi tomato and vegetable market, where farmers gather to sell their produce for distribution within Nigeria and beyond. In a day, we load about 50 vehicles with tomatoes for onward supply to different places, especially southern Nigeria. Customers has drastically reduced. People used to come from Niger Republic, Lagos, Sokoto and other parts, but they have stopped coming now due to farming challenges. Previously, a basket of tomatoes sold for up to 150,000 naira, depending on the variety. However, the situation is drastically different today in Kaduna City and other parts of the country. The price of a basket of tomatoes has dropped. It now sells for between 15 to 25,000 naira depending on the basket size. This is, however, because tomatoes is low compared to previous season, which may be due to climate change and cost of transportation.
The price has dropped, even though it is within the range of 15 to 20,000 naira.
Tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, cabbage, green beans, lettuce, onions, Irish potatoes, grapes, sugarcane, and other fruit and vegetables are grown in Kuda local government. While the surplus of tomatoes and other produce is advantageous for consumers, it poses significant challenges for farmers. This is a season for carrot. A couple of weeks ago, we sold a bag of carrot ranging from 30 to 40,000 naira. But now, the price has dropped drastically. We labored so hard to produce the carrot, but are struggling to maximize profit, perhaps due to glut harvest. Cabbage require fertilizer and other inputs, which are very costly now. There is a termite we call Sharon, which destroy tomatoes this season. Tomatoes and vegetables are perishable goods that require storage and preservation facilities. The lack of such facilities often leads to greater losses for farmers. To minimize losses, farmers here resort to traditional preservation methods, such as sun-drying tomatoes. When there is oversupply of tomato in the market and there are no consumers to buy, we will then go to the farm and buy from farmers. We bring it here, cut it and dry under the sun to avoid damage. We want government to establish a processing company so that we minimize the losses we record every season. There is a tomato processing company established in our town, but we can't supply them with enough tomato due to lack of water. The January tomato harvest creates an oversupply of tomatoes and other vegetables due to the seasonal glut. This negatively impacts the substantial investment made by farmers. However, farmers in Kuda local government cite insufficient water as a major limiting factor for bumper harvest during the dry season. They are therefore calling on the government to provide support to boost food security in Nigeria. From Kuda local government in Kaduna State, Bello Musa reporting for Trust TV News.
And now to East development, 6 students of Federal University Lokoja and a driver have been feared dead as an articulated vehicle rammed into the institution's shuttle bus on Monday. According to an eyewitness, the incident occurred at about 2:30 p.m. It was gathered that 6 students, including the driver of the FUL shuttle bus, lost their lives during the accident. According to sources, the articulated vehicle was carrying woods and jerry cans of palm oil heading towards the Abuja axis. Officers of the Federal Road Safety Commission were on ground to rescue some victims that were trapped under the articulated vehicle. The Kogi State Sector Commandant of the FRSC, Samuel Oyedeji, who led his team to the scene of the accident, could not confirm the numbers of casualties in the accident.
Sharp accident, no.
Moto, they carry student.
We carry student.
Moto, they carry student. I beg. See, Moto, they carry student. All this question.
The Bayero University Kanu's Endowment Fund Lunch Organizing Committee, headed by former Comptroller General of Immigration Service, Muhammad Babandede, has been inaugurated with a call on members to mobilize resources and develop a long-term strategy to sustain the fund for generations yet unborn to benefit. The Vice-Chancellor of the university, Professor Sagir Abbas, made the call while inaugurating the committee on Monday. The report.
Members of the Endowment Fund Lunch Organizing Committee were drawn from different strata of the society. The Vice-Chancellor, Professor Sagir Abbas, implored the committee to create awareness on the significance of the endowment, to foster the culture of giving to society, urging members to ensure transparency and accountability in the fundraising efforts.
The committee is expected to develop a long-term strategy or strategies that over a long period of time, the university will sustain it, and generations after us will come and continue to run and develop and roll the endowment.
President of the Bayero University Alumni Association, Shuaibu Idris, said the idea of the endowment fund came from the executives of the association in view of the enormous challenges facing the university, including lack of constant water and electricity supply.
We came into the university, we were given hostels, accommodation, there was water flowing, there was regular electricity supply. Needless to talk about the meal ticket, that when they serve us, some of us that were taking double will say, please, this is not enough for me. Today, these are history. And some of us who have this faith felt that, what can you do to give back to this institution, no matter how little? Now we started thinking, oh, this university had an endowment fund, this one has one, but Bayero University does not have. Why wouldn't we?
He noted that to raise money, the association needs people of impeccable character, saying the former chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Tahiru Jega, has agreed to be chair of the board of the fund. The chairman of the fund lunch organizing committee, Mohammed Babandede, said the committee will do its best to justify the confidence reposed in them.
To prepare a good foundation for the endowment so that the university can benefit, the community can benefit, and the endowment will be sustainable and useful to Nigeria as a whole.
Bayero University was upgraded from Abdullahi Bayero College in 1975 to a full-fledged university, producing notable professionals and accomplished academics. Ahmad Datti, Trust TV News, Kano.
And now to developments in business. The governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Cardoso, has canvassed stronger economic ties with the Middle East and the Nigerian diaspora community in the region. Speaking during a meeting with Talal Al-Humand, the Assistant Governor for Monetary Affairs, Saudi Arabia's Central Bank, on the sideline of the just concluded inaugural conference on emerging markets economies organized by the Ministry of Finance, Saudi Arabia, and the International Monetary Fund, regional office in Riyadh. Cardoso said there were lessons to be learned from Saudi Arabia in terms of infrastructural development and tourism. According to him, Saudi Arabia's dedication to diversifying its economy through innovative environmental projects, large-scale transformation, and tourism investment is essential for development. Cardoso also reaffirmed his dedication to collaborating with with the Nigerian diaspora community in the Middle East to improve remittance flows and strengthen Nigeria's financial sector. He stated that the CBN will continue enhancing macroeconomic fundamentals to establish an enabling environment that will facilitate the growth of the private sector and the generation of high-quality jobs for Nigerians. Responding, Talal Al-Hamad assured Cardoso that the Saudi Central Bank will work with the CBN to ensure the attainment of mutually beneficial objectives. It's time now for the stock market update with Chiamaka Nwafo. Good evening. This is Stock Market News Update. I am Chiamaka Nwafo. Let's go and take a look at what happened on the floor of the exchange 17th of February 2025. The all-share index closed at 107,937.74 basis points, losing about 0.11% from close of Friday, which was about over 108,000. Now, the market cap was 7.3 trillion naira, while the volume of trades were 511.1 million volume of shares and trades valued at 12.8 billion naira in deals of 17,095. That was what happened today, the overview of the happenings on the stock exchange floor. Now, what's happening on our green table? We see that Nigerian breweries led the gainers with a 10% share price appreciation, closing the day at 36 naira 30 kobo. Followed is Cadbury Nigeria in second place at +9.97%, closing the day at 32 naira. Then we have the Initiate in third place at +9.88%, closing the day at 4 naira 45 kobo. On the red table, let's see, we have Ikeja Hotel coming out last, losing about -10% of their share price, closing the day at 12 naira 60 kobo. We have following suit immediately is Learn Africa, saying 10%, closing the day at 3 naira 87 kobo. And in third place, we have Cornerstone Insurance, closing at -0.80%, the day at 3 naira 13 kobo. Who are movers and who are shakers? Let's take a look. We have Access Holdings recording the highest volume of trades at 144 million. That's approximately 144 million shares, followed by ICO Insurance at 24.6 million shares, and then we have UPDC in third place at 20.4 million shares. Now that's it for the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Let's take a look at the African and the global markets.
There you have it, the happenings on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, the African and global market, and the exchange rate. And that's it for Stock Market News Update tonight. I am Chiamaka Nwafo.
Thank you so much, Chiamaka Nwafo. And now, away from Nigeria, detained Ugandan opposition politician Kizza Besigye, who went on a hunger strike last week, has been rushed to hospital after his health deteriorated. A long-time political opponent and critic of President Yoweri Museveni, Besigye's prosecution by a military court and near 3-month incarceration has stoked public anger against the government. Calls for his release have mounted, with pop star turned politician Bobby Wine, who challenged Museveni for the presidency in the last election in 2021, warning that Besigye appeared close to death early Monday when he visited him in prison following his brief hospitalization on Sunday. Besigye's lawyer say he was kidnapped while visiting neighboring Kenya in November and forcefully transported back to Uganda, where he was charged in a military court with various offenses, including illegal weapons possession. The government is working on transferring his case from the military court to a civilian one. Information Minister Chris Barrio Munsi said in a post on X on Sunday. Last month, Uganda's Supreme Court said in its ruling civilians should not be prosecuted in military courts, calling it unconstitutional. Still on the foreign scene, former Mauritian Prime Minister Pravin Jugnauth has been released on bail following his arrest on Sunday on money laundering charges. He was taken into custody following searches by detectives from the commission at different locations, including at his residence. He was released because he must not mention the case to the public or the media. The judge also barred him from interfering directly or indirectly with any witness or potential witnesses. The former Prime Minister's lawyer said on Sunday his client has been provisionally charged and has denied the allegations. Jugnauth was Prime Minister from 2017 until November last year, when his militant socialist movement suffered a crushing defeat in the general elections. Up next is Sports News with Emmanuel Fashemi.
The Director General of the National Sports Commission (NSC), Honorable Bukola Olopade, has commended Nigeria's badminton team for their remarkable performance at the All-African Senior Badminton Championship in Douala, Cameroon. The team secured a third-place finish in the overall medal table, winning 1 gold and 2 bronze medals at the prestigious continental event. Honorable Olopade expressed his pride in the team's resilience and dedication despite facing difficulties. A special highlight of the championship was Anolo Akpokwayore's historic achievement as he clinched his 5th consecutive gold medal in the men's singles event. Okpayore continued his dominance on the African stage, defeating Egypt's Adam Hatton in the final to solidify his reputation as Africa's best badminton player. Nigeria wrapped up the tournament with a gold in the men's singles, a bronze in the men's doubles, and another bronze in the mixed doubles. Algeria and Egypt secured the top 2 positions on the overall medals table. Enugu Rangers head coach Fidelis Ilechukwu has reacted to his team's victory over league leaders Remo Stars. The Flying Antelopes defeated Daniel Ogumodede's side 2-1 in a thrilling MPFL Match Day 24 clash in Enugu on Sunday. The defeat was Remo Stars' first in 9 league outings. Rangers also got their revenge for the 2-1 loss to Remo Stars earlier in the season. Ilechukwu, who guided Rangers to win the title last season, said they secured the victory with an injury-ravaged squad. The league will resume with Match Day 25 fixtures by the weekend. And that is sports. I am Emmanuel Fashemi.
Very well then, that's about the size of our package for you on the News Hour tonight from our team here in Abuja and other parts of the country. Do not forget, you can always follow us across all of our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs and documentary. I am Aisha Salihu. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night.